Yes, it is. Okay, guys, before we get started, I'm going to get the, I don't remember how to do this. I'm going to get the announcements done with. So we'll do those first. Okay, as you saw on the pose Zoom, Jason Kokenzie does an amazing opportunity presentation. It will be business heavy, but I think this would be a really, really, really good one to plug into as a distributor. So I really want to bring this one to your attention, to tune in to the Facebook page and watch this, just to really kind of light your fire a little bit. And then we thought Amy Homewood was last week. She's not. She is this week on Thursday night. So another great business focus, also Lyme's disease survivor. So that's a good one. Okay, Performance Club, we extended it a little bit. So our August Performance Club people, so far, we still have until the end of tomorrow, is Gloria Brinker, Josh Dove, Laura Nowicki, Jen and Nick Schreiner, Jen Pensinger, Christy Spaniel, the Sheldons, Joyce Wood, and Christy Westmoreland. So congratulations to everybody that has hit Performance Club so far. And then 2 bonus pool qualifiers. They're on the same team. So cool. We have Christy Spaniel is in the pool, and so is Laura Nowicki. That is, they did that last month as well. So congratulations, you guys. Another reminder of those Axio samples. You guys, the more that we promote this program, the more the company will give us samples of other products. It's really important that we do this. This is such a phenomenal way to get this in the hands of people. I have found that if I keep it heavy in my stories, if I am always talking about Axio in my stories once a day along with other products, it is very helpful. People need to see it over and over, especially if I reach out to them first before they reach out to me. I'm hearing more and more, I've been watching you. I've been watching you. And then they have something that they want to see right away. So I am on 12 for the Axio sample packs. I think 2 or 3 have been new people. And then all the rest have been customers that are not using Axio yet. And what I do is I just let them know that I will order it for them, that it's $21.20. I place the order and I tell them to Venmo me, and I just send them a screenshot of my Venmo, and then they Venmo me right away, and then they get it. So really, really utilize this program, because it's just a shame if you don't. It's just a great way to get this in the hands of people. Okay, I wanted to share this with you guys. It's from the book I'm reading, Get Out of Your Head. And I just feel like it's so important, especially once you hear about like our weekend. We're going to have a few people talk about the Cabo trip, but I was not happy with myself and some of the thoughts I had upon getting into Cabo, because there were some turn of events that kind of could have easily put us in the headspace, and kind of did for me at the beginning of, oh no, like this isn't going to be great. Like, what are we going to do now? Right. And one was the fact that, we had to worry about getting those COVID tests to go back in. So you had kind of the worry of the test. Another was that there were some people, unfortunately, that tested positive. So they had to cancel all the events that they had scheduled for LifeVantage for the weekend. None of them went on. And then the other was that then there was a hurricane coming. So they were telling us that you might want to leave early because there's a hurricane coming. And all of those things could have really brought us down and made us leave like right away if we allowed it. So I wanted to share with you some of the things. So thoughts that can churn their way through our minds, and just teach you a little lesson on how to transfer it into something else, and the power that we really do have over the control of our thoughts. Everything is a thought. So these are some examples. I'm overwhelmed because I have too much to do. I'm upset because I didn't do what I said I would do. I'm anxious because I'm running behind on my project and letting people down. I'm frustrated because my boss is a micromanager. I'm angry because they were rude. I'm stressed because I'm working tons of hours yet not making ends meet. The pattern here is you have a negative emotion, a feeling that's negative, and then because, and then you give the reason. So to capture the thought, it says we have the power to wield the battle of our minds. We can rewrite the pattern while taking back the power that God has given us. So this is a Christian-based book. Everything relates back to God, our foundation. So these are the examples that I'm giving you. But instead of the negative emotion and then the reason, we're transferring it to the negative emotion. You can address it. It's okay to have it. And the reason, so I will. It doesn't just stop with the reason and the negative emotion. Then you transfer it and you say, so I will. And then you have a choice. And here are some of the examples. I'm upset and I was passed over. So I will choose to remember that God has not forgotten me. I'm angry and she was rude. So I will choose to meditate on God's kindness towards me. I'm overwhelmed and I have too much to do. So I will pause and choose to thank God for existing outside the boundaries of time and for empowering me to accomplish only that which I need to do. Holy moly, this takes practice, right? How many of us have said, I'm overwhelmed and I have too much to do? But then what if we took it that one step further and then said, so I will pause. So I will pause and be still. So I will sit still and journal. So I will just take a break. Okay, and the last one, I'm stressed and I'm fearful about my finances. So I will choose to pray instead of fear. I just really, really love those. I wanted to share those with you. And I wanted to read you this one last thing in the book. And it says, when we begin to think about our thoughts, perhaps for the first time, we can stop the downward spiral. We can reset and we can redirect them. That's our hope. Not that we would wrestle each and every fear, but that we would allow God to take up so much space in our thinking that our fears will shrink in comparison. I love the quote from A.W. Tozer that says, if God is exalted, 1,000 minor problems will be solved at once. That's it. I thought that was so good and such a good reminder because we know this industry can bring about all those fears, right? So anyway, we were able to this weekend in Cabo really change our mindset. And it's true what they say, proximity is power. And when you are surrounded by uplifting, fun, positive, inspiring people, it becomes really hard to not to be negative. It's pretty easy to be positive, right? Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, I just want to be sure. Becomes really easy to be positive and change your mindset. And that's what we did. And we had a phenomenal weekend. But the thing I loved the most was that I got to be there with Gloria, Laura, and Jeanette. And they've never experienced an incentive trip before. And right away, I'm like, it's not going to be the same for them. This is going to be good. But I mean, it was so good. And we were so lucky that on Saturday, Carrie Williams, this is another lesson, and then I'm going to turn it over to them. But Carrie Williams, she chose not to just let the events of the weekend bring her down. And so she thought, why not see if I could book a catamaran? And she called around, and sure enough, she found a catamaran. And it would only allow so many people to be on it. And we were lucky enough to be asked if we could be on it. And we got like 45 minutes notice. And we were like, well, it's all of us or none of us. And it fit all of us. And we pivoted very quickly, got ready to go, and got in this van and got in this catamaran. And it was like such a joy. So anyway, I'll start with Gloria, but I just wanted them to share with you guys just how it all felt, like how it felt getting there. Because I just know sometimes it can be scary and intimidating, and how it felt while you were there, and then how you feel now, like what the experience did for you. So Gloria, if you would share with everybody first, I just would love that. Make sure you unmute first.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, for me, getting there, um, I don't know if you mean the prep kind of thing or just for me getting there. This was the very first time that I had ever traveled outside the United States by myself. And so I was extremely, extremely fearful. And I'm not kidding. It was 2 days before going. And I was thinking about just canceling just because I was so fearful. And so, but you just have to trust and you just have to know that there's going to be other people along the way. And so you can just follow them around. And so again, it was extremely, it was fearful for me as I'm landing, in Cabo and to get, but the directions that Life Vantage gave were so good. So good. So I knew exactly, get through the crowd, get through the whatever, and look for the wanderlust sign so that I knew how to get to the motel. And what I will say is that when I first got there, then I couldn't check into my room right away. And so I did walk around a bit and things. And then finally, this is going to be so funny. And I'm going to tell you this because I've never told anybody this before, but when I got into the room, because I was so fearful, of going by myself, so fearful. So I get into the room and I look in the mirror and I have tears in my eyes and I say, I am so proud of you because I went by myself and I was so fearful. But without Life Vantage, I would have never done that. Ever, ever, ever. So I wanted to like jump up and down when I got there. I wanted to give everybody a hug and say, I did it, but I didn't. I just failed off. I went to my room. That's what I said to myself, just because I was so afraid to go. And then of course, then I met up with Tanya and Laura, and Jeanette, and then we just kind of went around. But in the evening, and when we were walking around, then we had heard that the dinner was canceled and they were starting to break it all down. And it's like, what's happening? Like, what's happening? And so then of course, then I heard that someone had tested positive. And so then it was like, and then all the activities were canceled. And then came a little bit of that fear, anxiety kind of thing again, too, just because it's like, well, what if I test positive? What if and what was just remarkable, I think that because I'm very, very Christian based. I mean, I'm Catholic in religion and things. And so that was the other thing I was so impressed with, was like how the Life Vantage family everybody was just so supportive in that way. And that to learn that we control what we can control, and then we just turn it over. And so that's what then I learned, on Friday morning. And then of course the hurricane thing came. And so then it was like, okay, what can I control? Right? What can me personally control? What can I earthly control? And that was like, okay, let's get the airline, moved from Sunday back to Saturday, get that taken care of. And then the second thing was get in line to get our COVID test done a little bit earlier than what we originally had planned, because our flight was a little bit earlier. So again, we kind of just like took care of business and took care of what we could earthly take care of. And it's like, and now everything is just up to God. I mean, now we just let it go and then go and have a great day. And Friday was fabulous, just like fabulous. I love the spur of the moment. Let's go. And we just hopped on the shuttle bus. We didn't even know we were going. I didn't know we were going scuba dive or snorkeling. And I didn't know we were going to be served a meal on the catamaran. And I asked Tanya too, what's happening? She's like, I don't know. We're just going. We're just going. And so, so we just embrace in the time. But I mean, it's so important to just like take care of what you can take care of. And then don't worry about what you don't have control of. And so I didn't have control after the test was done. I didn't have any more control, but it's like, okay, take care of what you can, and then embrace and enjoy the rest of the time. And so, although it was not at all what I was expecting, it was awesome and a great trip. And I'm so glad that I conquered those fears and went. So as far as in the future, I don't want to do this alone again. I want people who are on my team, people in my downline, to experience this and come with. That's my goal now, is to get a lot of people there.
I love it. That was so perfect, Gloria. I was telling Gloria too, you guys, Life Vantage caused me to travel for the first time by myself as well. And then going to Mexico, I had those same feelings. Like, usually I got Kyle, like he's handling all of it and I just follow him, the big guy. But it's really daunting. But my self-talk and my mentality this time was so different because I'm like, I don't have to be in a hurry. I'm going to just set myself free. I'm going to enjoy this. And I was also caught up in the, you got to wear a swimsuit. You got to, all the things, right, that we get in our head about. And I had to do so much self-talk that entire trip. Like, I'm not going to let that get in my way. I'm not going to let that get in my way. I'm going to set myself free. And there were so many lessons we learned, like you going through your fear, Gloria. I mean, that was huge. And then also being proactive and being resourceful. Like none of us just took what we heard and just went with it. Like we were resourceful, like getting our COVID test done. Like we went down early anyway, and we stayed and kind of talked to them until they let us in. Like we just didn't take no for an answer so that we could get out of the way what we wanted to get out of the way and really enjoy our day. And so I think that's another strong lesson is sometimes no doesn't have to be no. If you feel really convicted and you want something to get done, there's a way, like go after it and make it happen. And we did. So thank you so much, Gloria. I'm so proud of you for being there. And I just loved experiencing everything with you. So fun. So fun. Okay, Jeanette, let's go to you, sweetie.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
You guys, everyone keeps breaking up a little bit because we're driving. Maybe
We
at a
can hear ya.
volleyball tournament today. So, okay, awesome. Um, so, oh my gosh, I think we all had fear, obviously. I think mine was more, I'm coming and I'm bringing my family, and what is it going to look like? I was fearful of like, just all the events that were happening, and are they going to be happy with me dragging them along to everything and that type of stuff. But then when we get there, and well, we ended up getting delayed for 2 hours on the plane. That was kind of fun, and I was just so proud of Mark and Avery. Like we just all went with it. Like, what can you do? Like, you just went with it. And then we get there, and the same, like Gloria said, like all of a sudden you hear someone's getting tested positive, and you're like, I'm not really sure what that means. But yet we're standing there talking to Steve Fife, and we're standing there, we see Taylor Worry, and we're like, okay, this is interesting. But you get to like, it was kind of fun for me because I was standing there and Steve walks up and he says, I know you. You look so familiar. I was thinking, I don't know how he'd know me, and he said, and then I said, well, I was on a call when I won the trip. He goes, that's what it was. I remember that. So to just have that, like he remembered me, that just makes anybody feel good. And then, it was fun. The first night we just kind of went with everything and we took it easy and said, we could have gotten down and been like, darn it, we didn't get to do this and we didn't get to do that. But every single person in LifeVantage that you talked to from corporate was so apologetic. Like, so just like, we're so sorry, we wanted this for you, and this would have, and all the stuff. And that right there in itself made you go, no, you guys did enough. Like, look where we're at. Like, look what we're doing. Look what we get to experience. And then to just hear their humility in it all just makes you stop and go, we are in such a phenomenal, beautiful company that just loves us so much that they are they were just heartbroken. And I heard that so many times, just even when we thought it was the COVID happening. And then all of a sudden it was, Hurricane Nora was showing up, and I went downstairs to go change my stuff, and a bunch of corporate was down there, and they come over, and it's the same thing. We're so sorry. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. What can we do for you? And different things like that. And I mean, it just, honestly, did we give what we were thinking? I was going saying, I can't wait to mingle, I can't wait to be around everyone, I can't wait, for those connections. And although it was not the experience that maybe was in my mind, what happened out of it was so much better, because it just made me again say, man, we're in the right place. This is the right company. These are the right people, because you want to surround yourself with amazing, beautiful people. And if we were at a company and they're like, yeah, sorry, this is it. I don't know how any other companies would handle it. So I'm just going to go off what we've got. We've got people who just loved us. and loved us through it all and were willing to do whatever we needed. And then, of course, being able to take Avery and Mark, and they were so, so excited to experience it all. Avery was just in awe the whole time. This morning, she actually woke up, or actually yesterday morning, we woke up at home and she goes, darn it, I can't just like call someone and they bring me food, or walk over and say, I'll take all this dessert. She couldn't pick which dessert she wanted. We're like, just get it all. And she'd get like 3 desserts and she'd eat it all. She was like, darn it. And then she, after talking with the pros, and Michelle spent some time talking to Avery about incentive trips, and Avery's like, I'm taking over your doodle page, Mom, and I'm gonna self a tandem, and we're gonna go to the next incentive trip because I never want to miss one of these. And so, just hearing that excitement, and then I am gonna tattle on Mark a little bit. He's gonna sit here and so then yesterday we're home and he goes golfing with a friend. I'm like home I'll be honest, I was home pouting. I didn't want to be home. I wanted to still be in Mexico. So all day long I was like, this is dumb. I should still be there. And I'm tracking the hurricane that didn't happen. And so, which I should say, Avery and Mark were both willing to gamble and stay and get swept away if we needed, but but Mark goes golfing and he comes back and he goes with a buddy of his and he comes back and says, so we need to get together, with our friends. And, and he's like, Justin really wants to take a look at this now. And he said, I told him, about the incentive trip and how phenomenal it was. And that, hey, it'd be cool if we can all go on incentive trips together. And the guy and, and our friend is just like, all right, let's do it. I'm interested. He's like, I like residual income. And so like just all of that came about because we went. And I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited to go. I need my team there though. I'll be honest. I need to be surrounded by you. Those of you on my team that are on this or watching on Facebook or see the replay, I want you guys there. I want to be able to experience and have the feeling that Tanya felt, knowing that she had team members there, knowing that she had people that, just went for it. And, when you do that, you're doing it for yourself. And when you do something like this for yourself and you're saying, I can do this, it just turns into such a beautiful thing. And every single person on this call right now is so deserving of feeling how Gloria, Laura, and Tanya and I felt, and Mark and Avery. I mean, you guys just are. And so I'm not going to take no for an answer for my team, because there's going to be a lot of you that are going for the next trip if you like it or not. So anyways, but thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeanette. Yeah. The next trip we're hearing is like truly like a bucket list kind of trip, like a really big flipping deal, one that you wouldn't guess in a million years. It's not your typical. And I'm also hearing too that it may possibly be based off of like true activity, not just rank advancements, right? So I want you guys to be working now as if it started now. It will be introduced at Global, but work as if it's happening now, because you want that, you just want to be there. Because what I love with what Jeanette shared is it's vision casting. When you go on these trips, I had never been outside of the US before LifeVantage, nor had my husband, nor had my girls. And same thing, it casts a vision, because I know for me, I am not a big thinker. I'm getting there, but exposure and seeing things that I haven't seen before, that helps me believe bigger. That builds my belief lid. It makes my belief lid higher. So we have to be intentional with, and I was the queen of convincing myself I didn't need these trips. I don't need it. I'm fine if I don't go. I'll pay for it when I become an elite. Wrong. It's so wrong, because it just exposes you to so much more than you would otherwise see, and what this world can offer and what's available and how you can really live and how you can serve others. Like there's just so much belief that comes from being a part of it. So I love that Mark came home and was sharing. I love that Avery wants to help you get on the next incentive trip. Like that is what it's all about. All inclusive is where it's at. Oh my goodness, so good. Okay, last but not least, Laura Nowicki, please share with us what Cabo was like for you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. My lighting is so bad. I apologize. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What was it like for me? To hear I was going was like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like I kept saying that I won the golden ticket. But I also honestly felt very guilty. This is an amazing team, and there are so many people that I'm seeing your faces that are, you know, deserving of this trip. And so, so I really struggled with that in going. I kept telling myself, Laura, you didn't earn this. And I'd introduce myself and I'd say, well, I didn't really earn it. And so that was powerful for me in two ways, because, you know, a lot of times they would come back and they'd say, yes, you did. You absolutely did. You know, that's why you're here, because you earned it. And I met so many other people who were guests as well. And so that was also kind of reassuring to me, you know, that was part of it also. So going, I had my own anxieties and just this guilt. and I kind of kept saying to myself, like, okay, well, the next one, I am definitely earning the next one. I don't even know how to correct this. I'm so sorry. I am earning the next one. And each and every one of you should earn the next one, because it truly was, it was a gift. I mean, it was a golden ticket. As far as being there, you know, I kept saying, oh, I recognize you. You're famous, you know, to the elites or to anyone I would introduce myself to. And I don't know who was on the one person call before this, but at one point, Issa said she was in the pool talking to someone, and she's like, oh, they're like normal, you know, they're just like normal people. And so I think that was the reassurance too, like, okay, you know what? You hear this a lot, like, well, if they can do this, I can do this. And meeting these normal people who have kids and who have struggles and challenges and work things, and, you know, if they can do this, I can do this. And so, yeah, it was absolutely inspiring, exciting. And being there, it was everything, almost everything about it is out. I love to travel, so that travel wasn't outside my comfort zone, but I'm a painful introvert. I'm not very social. I struggle in conversations and things like that. So to be there and have everything be extroverted and fun, and not fun. I don't dance. Tanya can give us all dancing lessons. So I'm not much of a drinker. I was surprised how much drinking there was, but then how much I also was able to kind of enjoy myself regardless of all those things, and just say, you know, just soak it all up. Don't get caught up in how many plastic bottles you've gone through today. Like that doesn't, you're not here on an environmental trip. Like get over that and enjoy yourself. And so, you know, I think we all have our idiosyncrasies, I guess, and our struggles. And so it was just great to be surrounded by everyone that was having fun, everyone that was happy to meet you, everyone that would introduce themselves, everyone that would share their story, and everyone that was happy, you know, so I did end up staying the extra day with the potential hurricane. And so then I really knew no one, because everyone I went with, you know, Tanya and Gloria and Jeanette had left. And most of one person big difference that I had known before I went there had all left. And so literally the morning I woke up and you guys were leaving, I was kind of like, oh, I didn't like, I'm not going to know anybody. Like, and I am a painful introvert. And so I stayed in my room until about 10 a.m. And I was like, okay, I didn't stay here to be in my room. Like, go, get out there. So just, challenging ourselves in whatever it is, whether, to earn the trip is a challenge, to get there is a challenge, to be there might be a challenge. So whatever that is, it was helping overcome all of those things. And it, it did so much for me. As Jeanette said, the right company, the right people, the right place. But also, like, who do I want to be there with? Like, who am I attracting? Who am I going to build my team with? Who am I going to invite not only to this company and to this opportunity, but who do I want to be on a trip with? Who do I want to share that part of it? Because it was like, wow, this is what you can do. You can, get a catamaran for your whole team at some point, because that's what you do. You can bring your family and your husband and your daughter, which it was so awesome to meet Avery. I had so much fun with her and was just thinking, oh, I wish my daughter was here. She would love Avery. I wish my husband was here. We had lots of conversations on, husbands being there or not. And it was just like, oh, so who do you want to bring? Where are we going? Who do you want to bring and get there? Because it's the right company, the right culture, the right people, the right messages. When you're stuck in a hurricane, when everything's canceled, when you're in the midst of a pandemic, like, who do you want to be with? You want to be with like-minded people who are supportive and encouraging and loving. Come on in. Okay, just a minute. Sorry about that. So I guess that's it.
Another great thing too about this for Laura, like every time I've been on one of these trips, it has grown me and stretched me. Because I can relate to the feelings of introvert and like pushing yourself. But what I saw Laura do was, like, on the way to the catamaran, Laura was way up front, and guess who sat next to her? Carrie Williams. So she got like at least a good 30-minute conversation with Carrie Williams on the way there, right? Then because she stayed, and she left Sunday like in the hands of, it's going to hurricane or it's not, she got to be in the pool with Brian Dixon and talk science, which she loves science, right? She got these amazing opportunities. And I saw Laura like not hold back. When she saw a face that she knew, she said hello. And maybe as awkward as she felt, or however she said who she was, like, she had conversations. She made the most of those moments. And whether we do it at a LifeVantage event or in life in general, like, I just thought it was so beautiful that you stretched yourself that way, Laura. And like, you truly, truly made the most of it. So, and you did absolutely 100% earn it. So congratulations. I'm so glad you stayed an extra day. We're all jealous you got that extra day. So good on you. The last thing I just wanted to say really quick, just for the record and disclosure, the dancing, I had only had one beverage, just so you guys know, okay? I did not drink a lot that entire weekend. I didn't plan on it. And then at the hibachi bar, Sean Poe wants to, he wants to get shots for everybody. And I'm like, oh, the last time I had it, because I don't do them. I said the last time I had one was in Ireland. He's like, oh, well, there it is. Every incentive trip, Tanya has to at least have a shot. And I stopped after that one little shot, but that one little shot made me very warm and very tipsy in the moment. And Gloria and I got a fun video from it. So there were so many fun moments. But yes, I danced on the catamaran, but I did it because I was having fun. Just having fun. And those are honestly like internal headspace moments where I'm just like, set yourself free and don't worry about it. Set yourself free and don't worry about it. And that was one of those moments for me. And unfortunately, somebody had their phone out, and I don't know who has the video, but apparently Carrie Dickey saw it because she talked about it on the call this morning. But it was just fun, right? Like that's what these incentive trips do for you. They just stretch you, they grow you, they help you think bigger. You push through fear, you learn to be proactive through moments. And I think that's what everybody did. So thank you all so much.
Well, and I
sharing.
loved that you said that, Tanya, too. You said in response to the dance, you said, I was just living my best life.
Mhm.
And you know, it is a celebration of achieving that and a dream for what's next. And so thank you for that inspiration and, you know, truly being a leader and just living it, because that's the thing. We can talk about it, we can read about it, we can hear about it, but to live it is also just so important. So thank you.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay, you guys, let's end in prayer. Okay. Heavenly Father, we just lift up the world to you, and we just pray for your grace, and just pray for all of those that are hurting today, and just pray that they feel your comfort and that they know you. I thank you for this team. I thank you for the safe travels everyone had over the weekend. We have 2 days left in the month of August of 2021. And I just pray that everyone can end it in a way that just makes themselves very proud, that they can do it in a way of being courageous, pushing through fears, and just really stretching themselves in these next 2 days so that we can go through September, maybe doing a lot of things we've never done before, and just really having gratitude for each and every day, and living big and living well and living with happiness and joy every single day, knowing that you've given us a breath of life every day that we wake up. So thank you for all we have today in this present moment. And thank you for all that there is to come. Help us to go after it and to not take advantage of it and not take it for granted. In your name we pray. Amen. One more thing really quick, like that, I got to tell you, when I came home, because of our world today, because of COVID and seeing people quarantined, because of like the hurricane, and some people had to leave one hurricane and go home to another that were from Louisiana. I came home and I must have said a million times that night, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Like I was more grateful than ever to like be home and be with my family and just have what I have. And I don't know, I just have like this renewed sense of we cannot take one single moment for granted. And there were some things even today that I knew could have really took me down a hole and made me really crabby and really grumpy and really negative. But I refuse to let it happen. We just can't. There's no time for that. Our cells don't like it. Our body doesn't like it. We don't like it. It's an icky space. Like we just have to be so grateful and like really make the most of every moment, make every moment count. And that includes this business too, like not keeping it a secret, just really going forward and just really stretching ourselves in each and every moment. So that's it. Okay. I love you guys. If you're doing the WHAM meeting, let's log out and log right back in. Thank you all for being here. If you're on Facebook, love you. And I'll see you at the WHAM meeting. Bye.